Well, it used to be the marquee event of summers in the Old Port, the big festival, the 46th one coming up this summer. It's going to be the last one. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Cindy Williams. Portland's downtown making that announcement today, saying, we know this news will come as a disappointment to many. Well, the Old Port Festival began as a grassroots arts and music festival, and it eventually grew into a major destination date for locals, returning residents, and tourists alike. There was no specific reason given for why this annual event is coming to an end.
Some people will not be missing it. Brenda says, time for something new. Tracy adds, it was fun in the 80s, but not so much anymore.
There are some who will miss it, like Abigail, who says it's how we usher in summer. And Donna agrees, saying it is a summer ritual.
We say the word summer, and then we have to talk to Keith. And I feel like he's not going to be saying summer anytime soon.
You guys remember some Old Port Fest, though, that were not very summery.
Yeah.
It used to rain on every single
I couldn't remember if Xander was playing or there was some foggy 50-degree one a couple years ago. So
there's also lots of Old Port festivals I'm sure we don't remember.
Yeah, which is I think why they're
totally separate conversations.
I think that's why they're canceling it. All right, let's have a look at high temperatures today. 28 in Portland, 26 in Waterville. Rangeley seems kind of weird. I doubt it was only 9 there. That seems wrong. But anyways, 25 in Bangor, most of us into the mid and upper 20s. With the sun, it felt pretty good. We popped up a few clouds later in the afternoon, largely in the mountains, but the rest of us ended the day just as we began it with a good deal of sunshine. And again, that made a huge difference. For it to be 25, 26 degrees with sun, feels more like the low 30s, sensibly, at least on your skin. Here's a look at the radar out west. The reason I'm showing you this is you can see that cold air that's in place across the Great Lakes and the Northeast, and it's streaming over parts of the unfrozen parts of the Great Lakes and producing some lake effect and lake enhanced snow shower activity. Wind gusts, I just want to talk about this a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but tomorrow will be breezy and it will make it feel a little bit colder than today. Watch tomorrow afternoon here, 15, 20 miles an hour. Again, nothing crazy. But when you add that to the temperature, it's going to feel around 18, 19 degrees by tomorrow afternoon despite the sunshine. It will be very similar, though, guys, tomorrow as it was to today. Quiet all the way through the week. Our next storm lurks, though, for the weekend.
All right, Keith, thank you. In the news today, President Donald Trump says he will visit Alabama on Friday to see the areas devastated by a tornado that killed 23 people, or several tornadoes that killed 23 people. The president says it has been a tragic situation, but that a lot of good work is being done. All of the victims of Sunday's deadly tornadoes in Alabama have now been positively identified. 7 of them were from the same extended family.
Doctors in Britain say a man who was HIV positive there has become the second known adult worldwide to be cleared of the AIDS virus. The unidentified British patient has no trace of HIV after receiving a bone marrow transplant 3 years ago from an HIV-resistant donor. An American man, Timothy Brown, had similar treatment in Germany back in 2007, which also cleared his HIV. AIDS experts say this is proof that scientists will one day be able to end AIDS.
British police say they have found 3 padded envelopes with suspected explosives inside. They found them at different locations all around London. Police said smaller bags inside the mailers held devices that they say, quote, appear capable of igniting an initially small fire when opened. All of the devices were believed to have been sent with Irish stamps. There were no injuries and no flights were affected either.
Well, as we get ready for Now's second birthday tomorrow, you don't have to get me anything, it's fine. We're going to take a look back at the story that Lindsay is most proud of since she is on vacation this week.
As she has done a lot of work tackling the working waterfronts in several main communities, and that includes in Booth Bay Harbor.
Very outspoken. He's also a very generous person.
We were told that he would be interested in maybe buying some of our art to put in his workers' rooms if we would stop talking against him.
Two art connoisseurs painting two very different pictures of a developer named Paul Coulombe. The Lewiston native sold White Rock Distillery in a more than $600 million deal several years ago. He now owns the Boothbay Country Club. His latest project, he wants to rezone a protected area of Boothbay Harbor's working waterfront to bolster tourism opportunities. John and Lynn Seitzer challenged his plan, then they say they were threatened. You have chosen to be an enemy of mine for life. That will not bode well for you financially, Coulombe wrote in an email. I am willing to give you one last chance to support me in my revisions of the ordinances and zoning. If not, then you will have an uphill battle with me. Not your best choice. The Seitzers aren't the only ones against waterfront zoning changes. They are members of a community group called Friends of the Harbor.
I just don't like being treated like that. So we both chose to take a chance.
And keep speaking.
Yeah.
Why? And keep questioning.
Why?
We love this town.
Yeah.
We want this town to succeed, and not. It doesn't have to succeed just because of one person. It succeeds because of that harbor.
I guess what's your response to that? I mean, some people have been afraid to speak up in opposition to these plans.
I haven't witnessed that, but I'm very impassioned. I love the area. I love all the people. I've been the biggest supporter of the fishermen, and I guess sometimes I'm impatient with people that are so resistant.
I know some people characterize us as anti-business and anti-change. It couldn't be farther from the truth.
Ken Fitch is another member of Friends of the Harbor. He says their goal is to find a balance, which, after the latest public hearing, appears to be within reach. The Boothbay Harbor Planning Board presented its recommendation for rezoning what is called the Maritime District. Coulombe's original request that came about a year ago amended.
The new proposed ordinance looks to redraw the boundary lines around the maritime zone, taking away more than 70%.
It represented a good compromise. The negative was we lost a substantial portion of the working waterfront down to about 23%. However, that 23% is actually the core of the working waterfront.
But all the back and forth over the last year has created a rift in the town.
People trying to get a certain point across, and I don't think it's done the community any justice. I think it's created unnecessary divides.
What point is that you think they're trying to get across?
That Boothbay Harbor's working waterfront is endangered. It's not.
And don't forget to check out our 2-year anniversary show tomorrow. We're going to look back at some of our favorite stories over the last 2 years, and all the OG members of the cast that still are employed by us will be part of the program, so we look forward to having that anniversary.
Amanda. She'll be back in this
will be
seat,
back,
so
yeah.
yay.
She tried to get away. We're bringing her back.
No, she'll never get away. We'll never let her. What's the most you would ever pay for a car? Well, chances are it is not as high as the price tag you're about to see.
And we'll check back in with a family living out its dreams inside of an RV. We'll revisit with the Nickersons coming up. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Steven, what's going on? And Joshua and Paul. You think that song, the song is very sports themey, isn't it? We've had that same song for the full 2 years. Oh, the Now theme song. It sounds like, somebody said it sounds like a sports team should be running out.
Oh,
like when it starts playing.
Does.
Yeah.
When did they redo that?
No, we haven't. That's the song we've had.
The whole time?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought
oh, you know what? No. That first one was like super happy. Remember that one? Yeah.
And then it wound up being inappropriate sometimes.
Yeah, the first one was happier. Yeah, I don't know when we redid that. I don't think it was terribly long after we did the first one. I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember that. JR in Wisconsin, what's going on out in Cheeseland, sir? Haley, fantastically honored is my answer to your question.
Oh my goodness, what is Haley even saying?
Haley wants to know, how do I feel working with Cindy?
Oh, that's very nice.
And a little nervous.
Oh, right. I make you so
A little nerve-wracking. A little intimidated.
I make you nervous. I don't think so.
Who's got beads? It's Mardi Gras.
So, you know what?
Have you been? I'm assuming you've been multiple
I was just
times.
in Alabama this weekend, and you know, Mobile claims to be the founder of Mardi Gras, and then New Orleans gets all the credit for it. But so Alabama definitely celebrates, and I was in Orange Beach, and when they had parades every night that I was there, I had all these beads. I was going to bring them, and I forgot. No.
Have you ever been to the Louisiana version of Mardi Gras?
I grew up in New Orleans.
I know.
I went
Just
to
saying.
Louisiana.
So yeah. I went once.
I thought the Old Port Fest was a party.
Not quite the same.
Not even close. Not even close.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I was there, and actually, your husband came out and met me out there because that was
because
Super Bowl week. Yeah,
that's right.
They were supposed to be Super Bowl then Mardi Gras, but the Super Bowl got moved back a week because of 9/11. So they had to move the Super Bowl back a week. So they ended up being the same week.
Oh, wow.
Was interesting.
I bet that was nuts.
It was, yeah.
I heard he kept trying to get you to eat interesting food. And you
I'm
wouldn't
not
do
adventurous.
It.
Yeah, no. He's like, try this. I'm like, no. Yeah, I'm better now. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
All right, today is Mardi Gras, which means Fat Tuesday in French, and that means the city of New Orleans is taking the meaning of indulgence to an entirely new level. It is the last day of the feasting period before Ash Wednesday begins tomorrow. Now, you're checking out some snaps that we can't actually show you from this morning at the Zulu Crew Parade. The Zulu Crew has been participating in Mardi Gras celebrations since 1909. The group was formed to pay homage to the Zulu warriors in South Africa.
That's always a really good parade. French car maker Bugatti unveiled the world's most expensive car today at an auto show in Switzerland. Get ready for the price tag, $19 million. Supercar is simply named the Black Car. It's one of several supercars on display at the Geneva Motor Show. Bugatti sold a previous high-end model with a price tag of more than $5.5 million. But despite these ridiculous prices, luxury automakers say this niche market of supercars for the super rich is growing.
Just saw Carson put it on PayPal. It'll be here in 4 days. All right, you guys ever Venmo? That's right. Have you guys ever seen an elk? You ever see an elk in person?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one, right? But I mean, not this many all at one time. This is video from Oregon that captures the moment of a gang of estimated 700 elk all crossing the road.
Is that what they call a group of elk, a gang?
That's what Isaac does. The gang took quite a while to cross, even though they were all running. State officials say that March is a difficult month for large game as they're just trying to survive the winter, aren't we all? They say that this winter has been really really difficult because the amount of snow and the cold temperatures. So there go all the elk. What would you think? What would a group of elk be?
I don't know. Isaac needs to look that up. You know, they all have different names.
I think gang. I think
Whales
gang
or
is
pods and horses.
That's just a lot.
Yeah,
a bunch.
A whole lot of elk.
A bunch of them.
Coming up, Cam continues her Restaurant Week series with an allergy-friendly place that gives the customer complete control over the meal.
And we know Keith loves having some control of our show. His forecast is coming up next. What is going on there?
We can't read it.
See it.
Miser.
It says Corey the Weatherman.
No, just Corey Weatherman. That's his last name.
Corey Weatherman.
Weatherman is his last name.
Frumpkin Weatherman, same thing.
Corey Weatherman.
I think, yeah, you're staying, I'm leaving. Okay, but I'll stay in chat for a little bit.
Your package. And then what, I throw to weather?
No, I'll be back. Okay. I'll be back for the tag. Okay. Yeah, that is one car we will definitely not see on Price is Right. You are correct.
Yeah, 19 million.
Isaac is correct.
Heard.
And it's actually a gang.
It really is a gang? I thought you were joking.
You see how Cindy made fun of him? It wasn't me. That wasn't me.
It really is a gang.
I was with you. I feel like gang isn't right either. It is gang. Just ask Google.
No.
Kim says it's a gang too.
Ron said it was herd. Other people are saying, yeah. It is a gang of elk. Wow.
I mean, how hard can it be to find the answer to that?
There you go.
Well, I'm asking Google. Someone just told me to.
All right, how do I get more of these on over here? So I have to like click on the video to then.
I'll show
Now I get it. I'm a little technologically challenged, folks. What can I say?
Of elk.
A gang of elk. Who would have
Gang
thought?
of elk is true.
A gang of elk. And then
Winner.
we go right into restaurant week. I wonder if anybody is serving elk.
Gang of elk. All right, Kim, thank you. I asked Google.
There we go. Everybody's
Oops, I don't need this.
Thank you, guys.
I'll be back.
Thanks for looking out for us. Gang of elk.
Just see where life would take them. Guess what? They're still going. For almost a year and a half, home has been ever-changing for the Nickerson family. Corey, Jesse, Lily, and Layla have spent the last 16 months in an RV, going from place to place, visiting, experiencing, living. They're currently in Homestead, Florida at the Everglades Outpost Animal Refuge, volunteering.
We circled the entire United States because we went from here back up to Maine, across the top, through Canada, around Alaska, down the west coast, down along the bottom, and now we're back here.
It's a lot of driving.
The trip is not all fun and games. The girls still need to get their schoolwork done, which at times can be a challenge.
Well, we've always homeschooled the girls, but this did change things for us. It's really difficult to have a massive amount of books and certain things that we were used to with homeschooling before. So in this past school year, we switched over to doing a lot more online stuff, which we've really enjoyed. The girls really like it. It's a little bit more independent study for them in some areas.
Got some cool drone footage though, going through these lily pads just a second ago. Oh man, it's awesome.
Most of the family's adventures are documented and shared on social media. Their Finding Our Someday YouTube page has thousands of followers. According to the Nickersons, most of the people who comment wish that they could be doing the same thing, but are happy to follow along.
I think the thing we hear most often is usually from parents and expressing that they're so excited that our girls are getting to have this life experience for however long it may last. It's just something that a lot of kids may not be able to experience in their lifetime. And so for us, that's one of the best parts of this.
All right, so we talked about this when we first met this family. I don't know that I could do that, where I would just go without a net, sell everything and go, and then not have a plan. I think I'm a little too anal
too many
OCD
dependents for that.
Well, right.
I'm
Besides
all in.
that,
I would be
you
all
could do that.
in.
I could see
I
you
could
guys
totally
doing it.
do that.
I could see you guys
What
doing
about
that.
you?
I think we may still at some point. you
Yeah,
know?
I
We
could
just
do.
take off.
I couldn't do it without any plan. Like I could do a year of it or something.
Sure.
But there would have to be like a.
And I said, so it's
An
been like
end date.
16 months. Do you guys think your end date is getting closer?
Yeah.
And actually, Jess said, no, it's probably getting further away. Like we're just having,
I can see
so
that.
we're learning
That
so
is
much
amazing.
about life that there's really no reason to stop until,
Could I qualify my answer? I'm all in on the RV, not on the swimming with alligators.
Right.
Did you see the dude with the alligator on his head?
Yeah,
It's fine.
What are you doing?
Why?
As long as they're not hungry, I think it's.
Come on.
But that actually makes sense, Lee, because I remember we were when deciding to have a baby, we're like, we're just going to do these couple of travel trips, and then we'll be done. But the list gets longer the more you travel.
Right.
That's just kind of how it works. So we just had the kid anyways. We'll just bring him with us. All right, here's a look at the visible satellite. Nice sunny day today, pretty much statewide. Temperatures into the upper 20s, overshot computer model guidance by a couple of degrees. Nobody complaining about that. 25 in Augusta, 19 in Berlin, and 17 in Greenville. Wind gusts, I just want to talk about them picking up a little bit during the day tomorrow. It is certainly not a damaging wind event or anything like that, but because it's going to be calm over the next few days, these are the few things you might notice, is that winds will pick up tomorrow through tomorrow afternoon, 15, 20 miles an hour gusting around. And you'll notice it a little bit even tonight if you head outside, and they'll stay that way through at least Thursday morning. Otherwise, it's quiet. Tomorrow is similar. It starts with a lot of sunshine. We will destabilize the atmosphere a bit tomorrow afternoon, so I think we'll see some snow showers tomorrow in the mountains and foothills, particularly where they could pick up a ½ inch or so of snow. But that's it. They wane, the snow showers do, as the sun sets. And then Thursday is likely our coldest day, temperature-wise, only getting into the low 20s along the coastline, upper teens farther inland, and it could stay largely in the single digits into the mountains through Thursday, despite what will be a mostly sunny day. So it'll look really nice, but it won't feel that nice to be outside. Looks like a split weekend. Saturday looks great. A lot of sunshine, temperatures in the mid-30s. Then we'll watch our next storm come in on Sunday. I was thinking maybe we could push this storm off till Sunday night, but I don't think that's the case anymore. So I think it rolls in Sunday, late morning, and it's snow to start, changing over to some sleet, staying snow in the mountains, changing to rain along the coastline. So it's pretty much like every storm we've seen, except for yesterday's. Take a look at this, guys. Ryan made this chart, pretty cool. Shows the story of the winter, which was November, if you remember, had us a little scared of what kind of winter it might be, but then it quieted down on December and January, and after that's just been dead on average. So that's pretty much where we're sitting, except for Caribou, as we've talked about, which is running well above average. I like Saturday a lot. It's another one of those days where I'm thinking about skiing, but I'm like, how long do I want to wait in lift lines? Because I think it's going to be one of those. It's just it's a bluebird day.
Go.
It's been good snow, and then Sunday's messy. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think it'll be what we've seen a lot this year.
The turnover, you mean?
The snow to rain.
Right.
Probably mainly snow in the mountains, but that's about it.
Great.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. So it's Restaurant Week, in case you didn't know.
Oh, I'm aware.
Because it's all we ever talk about around here is food. So day 5, Restaurant Week, and you know what that means? Kim O'Brien is on the case, visiting a restaurant per day, trying out the allergy-friendly meals on the menu.
I want to know how you got this assignment, first of all. Well, yesterday Cam went to Hollowell and Slate's, and today she went to Fishbones Grill in Lewiston. Cam, what'd you think?
Guys, it's interesting. I've been eating since birth, and I've been allergy-ridden since age 15, but this is the first restaurant I've ever been to that doesn't expect the customer who has allergies to be deferential. They want you, the person that has all these preferences, to take charge. Fishbones Grill is cooking up some old favorites and new features for Main Restaurant Week.
Develop menus that showed your wares and made it was advantageous for folks that are just looking for a new adventure.
The menu flaunts both surf and turf.
But at the end of the day, we're about listening to our customers. They're going to tell us what they'd like to eat. They like our style.
When it comes to dietary preferences, Fishbones wants you to feel in control.
What do you want? First of all, you can tell me all your allergies, and your waitress can come back to the kitchen and tell me that, and then my first question to them is, what do they want?
I want to go somewhere and feel safe when I'm there. That, you know, they're taking all precautions to make sure that what I'm getting is what I'm able to eat.
So I tested Chef Tony's theory of first tell them what I want and then tell them what my restrictions are. So I told you that I wanted the brisket, and you said that with my allergies you can make that happen. So what are you going to do?
We just eliminated those 3 things. Eliminated the bun. Yeah. Eliminated the cheese and the coleslaw, and we took out the fries, gave you a salad.
The verdict?
I didn't know they could do brisket up in Maine. Okay. I see you. Fishbones.
Nobody told me. Nobody mentioned to me that Maine had a barbecue thumb, so I'm excited to try more of that. Tomorrow, where are we going? Let me look. We're going to the Good Table restaurant in Cape Elizabeth. I'm so excited to try that out. They're about locally sourced stuff, so another New England.
I think we can't do brisket.
Or barbecue, Cam.
We do
Well, I
brisket
just
and
didn't
barbecue.
know that it made its way up here. It swim up
Little
shore
Miss
with
Baltimore
the
thinks we don't know how to eat up
we
here.
don't
That's
know.
okay. That's okay.
We don't know.
But I do need to go with you tomorrow for security purposes. I feel like you'd be
That's
safer if I came with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To help try that food. All right.
We'll all taste it. We got a lot more news ahead in the next half hour. The Land for Maine's Future program is nearly out of money. So some legislators and conservation groups today unveiled a big plan to conserve land and water access and at the same time bring in some big bucks. Plus, more and more people are keeping chickens these days. What's the draw and how attached do they get? In short, very. It's all ahead at 5:30.
Friends who own chickens, and they are a little obsessed.
Yeah,
a little
they
bit.
like their chickens.
All right, we're back with Brain Drops right after this. All right, thank you, bud. Okay.
All right, so I go downstairs now. Goodbye, people.
Say bye to Cindy. To the travel story, it is actually, and this I didn't have time to do all this, but I'm glad you asked that question. It's not actually terribly expensive. Remember, first of all, they sold their house and everything they own to buy the RV. So, and I don't know their situation, but I'm assuming that they own the RV and they're not paying for it. So, if that's the case, they volunteer at all these places that they stop. So they do work. So Corey and Jess and the kids are all working and volunteering, helping clean up anything. So they basically get to park, stay, use the amenities and stuff for free when they travel for the most part. So certainly it can be super expensive to travel around depending how you want to do it, but there's also ways to do it where you're trading out your services as being willing to help around the areas. I know at this refuge park, they're helping and they're working every day, help clean that place up. So yeah, it certainly can be expensive, but doesn't necessarily mean it has to be expensive. So, and they're also trying to work where they actually get paid by doing different jobs as well. So it's what they're making work. So.
You mentioned that.
You should have me on camera. You should cut to this. Don't let this happen to you.
And then I'll be like, but it's because he lives in
If you want to Vanna White it, no one's going to stop you.
Okay.
We don't have enough goodwill with the
So,
FCC.
is there something at the before the brain drops?
There is something before the brain drops. It is.
Is it you or me?
It's me. It's from a viewer.
Okay, so I don't need prompter or anything, right?
No, the prompter is good because
So you're,
I don't
but,
know the name.
all right, but I don't need that. That's for you.
Judy Gallo Gosselin. They usually like it tilted down.
No, I'm just getting him as white.
Oh, I'm all set with that.
Okay.
I'm just making sure that's.
So.
Yes, I can see that.
No, so but that script's for you, not me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I pretty much stand here for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I can do that. Do I have to be here?
We're going to do some hand motions. That'd be great.
Chris, come say hello to our Facebook viewers, will you? Facebook, say hi to Christopher. All right.
Brain drops.
Go ahead.
Being used for a real life lesson. Judy Gowell-Gosselin said her son was able to figure out how much the snow weighed. And if you zoom in, it says, thanks brain drops. And it's the equation we did about how much it weighs. And she said, okay, so he didn't have school today. He wanted to make a snowman. And here's how we're going to make him learn, too. I like
it. Look at you educating the people.
Educated. Okay. You may have seen this today if you walked outside, and it's kind of counterintuitive. We're melting snow, even though it's 25 or 26 degrees. And so how are we doing that? There's a variety of ways. The first thing to establish is when we talk about 25 degrees at an official station, it's 2 meters high. That's the official measurement height. And it's in this little shaded box. And so what it's reading is what temperature in the air molecules around that thermometer reading. So that's 25 degrees. Now, obviously, if you look at something like pavement, asphalt, it's going to absorb a lot of the sun. And so not only is the asphalt itself going to be warm and melt away any snow that's on it, but it's also going to re-radiate some long wave energy back into the layer of air around it. So the layer of air around it could be conceivably 10 or even more degrees warmer. We've all done that, right? In the summer, you go out, put your hand right there, it's warmer. Same thing happens even when it's cold out. The snow itself, believe it or not, absorbs more energy than the air does. So you might be able to gain a few degrees to get it to over 32 degrees there. And I put these little black spots in here because if you have salt, rock salt, dirt in the snow, that will melt faster because it's absorbing more of the sun because of the color, the albedo of it. So if you look at these dirty little spots, you'll see them sink into the snow. And last but not least, you have houses with roofs, and you're draining some of the snow onto the ground, and that's eating away at snow too. So there's a variety of ways that you can burn snow in March, even in the 20s.
Yet you still see, like in June, those giant snow piles, and those stay there for, they never melt.
The bigger ones are harder because they're insulated by their own snow.
Right. All right.
And they're nasty.
Yeah, speaking about dirt. All right, News Center at 5:30 starts right now. Tomorrow, anniversary. See you then. Don't be late.